speak to you again. I hope you all are very well and I hope you are healthy and safe and enjoying life. I'm fine also, thank you for asking. I just spent 2.5 hours outside harvesting like chard and nettle and vegetables and all of the things that the garden has to offer. But it's very, very windy outside, which is why we are in here, because outside you wouldn't even hear me speak. So I decided I'll go inside. I'm gonna talk to you about meditation. I'm gonna have a cup of tea with you, and yeah, let's get into it. So this video has basically 3 parts. The first part is my story with meditation, how everything started. Second part is what I gained because of meditation, because of the year of commitment I was able to achieve. And then thirdly, what I did to make meditation a habit and gradually work my way up to being able to sit cross-legged and enjoy it. So I'm not an expert, but I can share my experience. So hopefully you enjoy it, hopefully you like it. Part 1 of the video is about how I started out with meditation. So it was nearly 5 years ago. I was in a hospital. I was hospitalized for depression, exhaustion, anxiety, and insomnia. So, needless to say, I had a hard time. And they offered meditation in that hospital. So, for 6 weeks, every Friday afternoon, we would sit in a circle on chairs and practice clearing our minds. For me, this wasn't like the perfect thing to start off with because firstly, I felt so exhausted all the time, so it wasn't even like possible for me to maintain a posture like that. Like I would just slump in and I couldn't like place my feet on the ground because I'm really small. So the chair was too high for my feet to give me any form of connection to the ground. And the hour we spent in there, my mind was racing. There were like 2 or 3 moments where I thought, okay, I'd clear my mind, and then I'd snap into the instantly into, oh, my mind is clear, and I was thinking again. So 5 years ago, meditation as a practice was introduced to my life, but although I promised myself or wanted to promise myself to take it out of the hospital with me into my daily life, I really didn't do it. So it was kind of 2 years after the hospital that I gave it another try because I had there were a few signs that I was like struggling again, and it came into my life again and I tried it, and since then we pretty much had like an on and off relationship with meditation. Like there were episodes when I would do it like 2 weeks consistently every single day, and then there were 2 months where I didn't do it at all. And I always felt kind of guilty, but then I always thought maybe it's nothing for me and maybe it's too hard or maybe whatever. So up to that point, it wasn't really a success, to say the least. So then a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, hence the video, I came across a video, and this is not related to meditation at all. Like I just was at a state in my being where I would like binge watch, binge eat, and binge consume everything. And I was about to go on travels. Like I wouldn't know how long this journey of traveling would last. So I really was craving some habits and wanted to form some habits that I could take along with me so that when I was like on a farm, sharing my room with someone else, that I could have a habit where I could like go into myself and revitalize and re-energize myself. So that particular night was October, if I recall it correctly. I had come across a video, and I will put it up here, so if you're interested you can check it out, about how discipline is related to self-love. And by now all of you might know that I'm kind of a sucker for self-development, so I clicked on it, and the lady in there was talking about how discipline is related to making a promise to yourself, a commitment to yourself, and honoring that promise gives you really the essence of self-love, and shows you that you're able to love yourself. So up to that point, discipline, oh my, was for me always tied to someone else having expectations, and you are there to fulfill them. So it was a very, very deep thought and belief system in myself that if I had discipline, it was always related to someone else telling you how to do something, and then my perfectionism kicks in, and I wanted to do it perfectly, and that stresses me out, and that is pressure. It was tied to all of these negative implementations. So then I came across this video, and this really something clicked inside, and I made the connection between having on the one side having discipline equaling self-love, and tying this to establishing new habits. So here we are 1 year later, and I did it. I really gave myself the promise, put in the discipline, and committed to 1 year of meditation. Which brings me to part 2. What did I gain because of that year? So there isn't one specific thing that I could say only meditation is the reason, because I really like self-development, so I'm doing a lot of things aside my daily practice. But what I can say is that meditation by now has become so much more than just a daily practice. It is kind of like a mindset, even a lifestyle if you want. I think it's also a little bit connected to the trend of slow living. I was used to working fast and effectively to get things done in order for me to have a chill out time on the couch where I would be able to like binge something, eat or watch or whatever. And with this practice, I think I developed a sense of awareness and mindfulness towards things, and that brought me to enjoying them more than I would have previous. For example, very ordinary and mundane things like folding the laundry or cooking. Even before that, doing the grocery shopping or harvesting vegetables. All of that is something that I enjoy, and that gives me a reason to meditate while doing it. So the closest I can get to explaining the state of mind I have when I do these things is Zen meditation. So I think the first advantage I gained is enjoying daily life. Which brings me to the second thing. I also kind of feel more tuned into life. Like before I had this consistent meditation practice, I would go outside with Marjorie, my dog, and I would be outside, but I would be walking. Like I knew, oh, okay, I want to do like 2 hours, I want to do 3 hours, I want to do this round or that round, and I just would go. So now within this year, something changed. I would stop and watch a caterpillar. I would stop and watch a leaf fall down. I would stop and look at the clouds moving by. I would stop because I'm interested in how a flower feels, or just want to watch a bee or a butterfly. So I think the second thing is also like when I'm outside, I feel much more connected to everything because of the slowing down of my pace in general. I'm kind of interested in all the detail that Earth has to offer. And then the third thing is I like to do more. Like like I said, previously it was always like do the things you have to do it effectively, do it very fast, and then you have free time. So now, since I kind of have free time all the time because I see the beauty in all of the tasks I'm doing, I also have more energy to try out new things and do more. So within this year, I have never ever made so much stuff. Like I'm creating, I'm writing, I am drawing, I'm baking, I'm making jam. Like all of these things that I would have never ever tried out because it would just have been another thing to do, another work to do and to accomplish. I really, really enjoy these things now. All of this slowing down brings me to seeing detail and falling in love with that detail, and that brings me to more creativity and inspiration. And I love that. To part 3 of the video. So here I'm gonna share with you in detail what I did, because I think that sitting cross-legged on a floor trying to clear your mind is for some people maybe a good approach, but for others it just doesn't add up, and so it was for me. So the moment I made the commitment to saying I'm going to do that 1 year every day, I needed to find other ways where I can implement it, because like I said, the previous 4 years weren't like that much of a success, to say the least. So I started researching what is meditation, what are meditation practices, what can I do to find other ways than sit on the floor and try to clear my mind using all senses. So basically being in the moment, in the presence. There is a raisin meditation, if you want to call it that. So for me, I suffered from eating disorders since I can remember, but I think it was about 13 that everything started, maybe even 12. So when I started researching about other ways of meditation, I came across this raisin meditation, and it said it's also good if you want to address eating disorders, if you want to address that you have struggling with food or something like that. That said, you always need to seek out professional help as well. But for my journey and for the purpose of this video, the raisin meditation is basically using all of your senses and taking all the time in the world to explore what the raisin has to offer. So it's the texture, it's the smell, it's the feel of it, which is basically what I said I gained through this year. So using all your senses and being in the moment, and taking one specific moment every single day where you would focus all your senses on one thing is a meditation practice. And it is a very, very valuable one, because you learn how to erase everything else, every mind chat. It erases all that around you, and all of your senses focus on this one thing. And this can also be when you do the washing up. Like, how does the water feel? How does it sound? How does the soap feel? How does the dirty plate feel versus how does the clean plate feel? How is your body moving? How are the muscles moving? All of that, you can implement that once a day or just after getting up. Put your feet on the floor, sit up, have your eyes closed, and do a body scan. How are you feeling today? I would find one single thing every day where I would give myself into 150%. So because I was mindful about one single thing every day, I craved more of it. Like, I really, really enjoyed being by myself and using all my senses. So then I craved this moment of being totally by myself. And I started doing a guided meditation every day before sleep. Like I said, I also wanted to implement habits in my life. So I would start creating a bedtime routine for me, because my head is always racing, and when I lay down it just starts to go up with all of the to-do lists and all of the things I need to do. Put a few links of my favorite people on YouTube with guided meditations. But this brought me even further. So when I had like a day where I was struggling with something, say I was struggling with gratitude, or I was struggling with feeling happy, or I was struggling because I was sad, or I was anxious, I would make the meditation work for me. So I would go to bed and have a guided meditation related to the topic that I was struggling with. And in doing so, more and more I was craving these moments of being by myself and being fully aware and in the present moment. Find your own way. And this is very important because each and every one of us is different, and that's something to celebrate. It's wonderful that we're all different, and there are so many different things out there for you to try. So I'm very kind and compassionate with myself as well. But bottom line of all of it is, if you make a promise to yourself, honor it. If you want to make meditation a daily practice, and this is all it is, it takes your intention. If you have the intention to do it, you can do it. If it's 5 minutes, wonderful. If it's 10 minutes, wonderful. If you fall asleep, okay, then you needed to sleep. If you miss a day, if you miss 2 days, if you miss 3 days, start on the 4th day again. So practice makes master. And I'm far off being a master, but I really, really, really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you gain an insight in how much joy and how much more appreciation for life a regular meditation practice can bring you. So with all that said, thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days to watch my video. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. I hope you have some fantastic stories of your journey with meditation, and I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week.